Hi everyone, today I'll be teaching you how to make this beautiful blouse with built up neckline and a sweetheart turn upside down. If this is something you're interested in, please stay to the end of the video. If you are new to my channel and you are yet to subscribe, please do well to click on the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. So I went ahead to draft the front pattern. I draft out the neckline, the shoulder slope, and also the armhole. So at the starting point there, you can see I left 2 inches space at the top. I hope you understand. So I went ahead to draw the line for the chest line, the bust point, then the waistline, the under bust, then before the waistline, then the um hem line or the hip line. I hope you understand. Like I told you, at the line before the starting line, I left a space at the top. Can you see? That's where we are going to um, draft our built up neckline. So basically, I've already drafted the most important part of it. So what I went out from the 3 inches neckline, I went in by quarter an inch. From the quarter an inch, I went up by 1.5 inch. I hope you understand. So I'll connect it to the quarter inch that I went in from the neckline. So my neckline is 3 inches. So from the end where I slope it down to the shoulder, I measured quarter an inch. So from there, that's where I took my 1.5 inch upward. Okay, so from the slope downward like so, I'll go ahead and take 1 inch. So from that quarter an inch I took in, so from that quarter an inch I'm going to take 1 inch down the slope. I hope you understand what I just did. So from that 1 inch I mark down the shoulder slope. I'm going to just curve it. You can use your free hand, just curve it to meet the built up neckline like so. Can you see? So go ahead and curve it like so. So I'm going to use a marker so that you see what I did. This is how I curve it. So you can curve it with your free hand if you do not have your curve rulers. Okay, so that's for that. So we are going to talk about the neck depth. So for the neck depth, I went in by 5 inches. So it all depends on you. So after marking the 5 inches, so there are some um neckline that looks like so. If you just drag the line from, follow the curve of my ruler, you see, just draw a straight line like so. It has formed a very beautiful neckline that you can see in your ready to wear. So I just say let me point it out. Okay, so that's one neckline. So the major neckline that we are drafting is a sweetheart turn upside down. So at the point where I measured the 5 inches, I'm just going to go ahead and curve it and draw my sweetheart shape upside down like so. So if you see at the neckline, the neck was a little bit the shape of the neckline at the going to the neck itself, it's wide, is a little bit tight, so that place will be a little bit wide like so. So I went ahead to use my biro to trace it first. Then if I've gotten the shape very well, then I'll go ahead and use my marker. So that's what I will do. I've drawn it out. It is sweetheart neckline turn upside down. So that's what I will do right away. So you ensure that your drawings are okay, then before you can now trace it out with your pen. Okay, so I'll go ahead and use free hand for those who can use free hand, so you can go ahead and follow what I did. So after drawing it, this is how it looks. So we'll go down to the drafting of the other part of the blouse. So the next thing I did was to take the dart, so the nipple to nipple measurement. So I made a mistake while drafting it. I am supposed to draw the that leg to under bust, not the bust point. I even went ahead to even draft it above the bust point. So pardon me. So when you are drafting your own, it should be under the bust point. So I took my nipple to nipple measurement and I divided it by 2. The fabric is on fold, so the paper is on fold. So at that point, I'm going to share 2 inch. So a half inch at this side, then 1.5 inch at the other side. So half inch at the midpoint, then 1.5 inch at the side. So that's what I did for this. Then another thing I noticed is that I did not draw the line down to the end of the blouse. So I will do that as soon as possible. So you go ahead and connect the um the line together like so. Remember, I distributed 2 inches for the dart for the underbust downward. So now I'm correcting the line, you can see. So the next thing I'm going to do right away now is to connect the from the underbust to meet the bust point like so. So I went ahead to use marker so that you can see and also correct the error that I did. Okay, so from the underbust, I'll go ahead and connect the curve, use my curve ruler to connect it to meet the bust point like so. So for it to be a little bit easier, I can connect it maybe half an inch before the bust point. Okay, so go ahead and connect it like so. So after connecting it like so, sorry, I thought my hair is blocking the camera. I hope you saw what I did. So I'll use the marker to also draw it out like so. So after that, I will turn the ruler that way and also connect it. So pardon me that I didn't know that this is blocking my hair is blocking the what I'm drafting. So I hope you understand. So the next thing, I'm going to look for the midpoint of the armhole. So for me to look for the midpoint of the armhole, I'll just go ahead and take my ruler and measure the armhole all round like so. After measuring it, and this is how I marked it. After marking, then I started connecting my ruler to the that position and the armhole. I hope you understand. So while I was filming it, videoing, I didn't know my head covered while I was measuring the I hope you will pardon me. Just take your your tape rule, and measure around the curve of the armhole and determine the midpoint. So at this midpoint here, I'm going to take half an inch upward, half an inch downward, which is 1 inch. So I distributed 1 inch around the armhole like so. So at one dart leg, I'm going to connect it to meet the midpoint of the side point of my bustier like so. So the next one I'm going to do is to connect the midpoint to the other dart leg. I hope you understand what I just explained. So I connected the side to one of the leg, then I connected the middle part of the blouse to the other side of the leg of the dart. I hope you understand. So I'll go ahead and trace it out so that you can see it properly. So this is what I connected to the side and to the um middle part of the bustier blouse. So at this side of the bustier, at the armhole, I'm going to come out with 1 inch. I'm going to come out with 1 inch because I took 1 inch dart, you remember, at the armhole. So by the time you fill it in like so, the armhole will no longer be short or will not be going inside and giving problem. So at this other the chest line, you go ahead and go out by 1 inch also, then connect it to the armhole like so. and that is it. So the next thing I'm going to do right away is just go ahead and measure your bust point, sorry, your bust measurement divided by 4. Then you add your allowances to it. So after dividing it by 4, I went ahead also to add the allowance also. You know that allowance, that opening going to cut out, I added it to it. Then before adding my sewing allowance. So I also did that for the waist. I took out my waist measurement. Then I also took the dart. You know the dart we took was 2 inches. So we are going to refill it there. If not, it will not size your client. Then before I added my sewing allowance, I will do so for the down part of the blouse also, the hip measurement. Then take out the dart, then add my dart, sorry, then add my sewing allowance. I hope you understand. So I'll go ahead and connect the up to the down part and the to the waist part, and the waist part down to the hip line, like so. So after connecting it, then I'll connect the waistline to meet the hip line. Then at the hem of the blouse, I'll go in by 1 inch. I'm going to go in by 1 inch. So I'm going in by 1 inch, like so. So after going in by 1 inch, I'll go ahead and also connect it like so, so that this blouse will not just look straight ahead. So you can go ahead and curve yours. So that will basically be all for the front part of this uh, dress. So the next thing I'm going to do right away now is to cut out the part that I need to cut out. So you watch as I cut the parts that are needed to be cut out, then you can go ahead and cut yours. This is how it looks after cutting it. Can you see? This is how it looks after cutting it. It is beautiful. So we'll go ahead and go to the back of draft the back of the blouse. So I went ahead to draft the basic pattern. This is the basic pattern. I'll just go ahead and do a rough um trace of it. I've drawn the armhole, the slant, the side. Went ahead to also draw the dart, also that leg. And you can see at the top also I left the 2 inches allowance for the neckline, beat up neckline. So let me just go ahead and use my hand to trace it out so you can see it properly. So pardon the rough tracing. Okay, so I just want you to see the line. So that's for the dart. So for the back part of it, we are just going to be looking at the built up neckline. If you don't know how to draft basic bodies, I have a video on how to draft the basic bodies, so please go and watch it. So for the neckline now, we're going to do the way we did at the front while drafting the front. So you just go in by also quarter an inch. So from there you just draft you go out by 1.5 as you did at the front, then 1.5 at the middle point. Then you just go ahead and connect the lines like so. So I'll go ahead and connect the lines. I will also use my marker to trace it out so that we can see it properly. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to really bring out the shape of this neckline. So I'm trying to do that now. So I've gotten it. So I'll go ahead and connect the midpoint down to meet the side like so, just the way uh, we, we connect lines. So I went ahead to correct the little errors that was there. Then the next thing we are going to do right away now, after I must have shown you how the lines look out at look like, sorry to say, I'll go ahead and just draw a curve like so to meet the neckline. In the front part of it we did so also, so just go ahead to do so, curve it like so. Okay, so I'll show you with your free hand. Just curve it like so, then connect it to the neck. Can you see how it is? So this is the built up neckline for the back. So the next thing I'm just going to size the back and the front neckline, if and the slope, if they fit in like so. So I've put them together and you can see that they fit in properly. So if you are not convinced with this, you can go ahead and measure the slope down to meet the neckline, like the way I will do here. Can you see? Okay, so this is what I did to the armhole that I told you about, that I didn't know my head was blocking the whole, barricading the whole view. So this is what I did to the armhole for me to detect the middle. I hope you understand. So I, after measuring it, I found out that they are both equal. So go ahead and cut out your pattern. So what I'll quickly do now is to remove a zip budge. Just go ahead and come in by 1/2 inch, then connect it like so upward, then also connect it like so downward, and that will be all. You can go ahead and cut out your patterns, and also add for the back. You can add your sewing allowance, because I did not add sewing allowance to the back bodies. And that is all for the drafting of this blouse. So see you in our next tutorial. I hope you understand. I hope you'll be able to make your beat up neckline. You'll be able to draft it the way I did. So see you in our next tutorial. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe if you are yet to subscribe. Drop your comment in the comment section, and do well to share the link with others. See you in our next tutorial. Bye.